Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Yes, this is the other video that I was talking about. The handgun that I chose to be my carrying handgun and my home defense handgun happens to be an FNP-9mm. Yes, I talked about this before, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about this. It's a great, excellent handgun. Um, the reason why I chose it over some of the other handguns is because since I have humongous hands, I have freaking gorilla hands. I mean, look at this. This covers the whole freaking gun. I mean, you can't even see the freaking gun because it covers it with one hand. And the slide is all the way open, and my hand still covers literally the whole gun. One of the reasons why is because I have such huge hands. Some of the handguns out there, I love the Glocks. I really enjoy the Glocks. I think they're excellent guns, but it does not fit my hand properly. Because one of the reasons why is because these kind of handguns have what they call a beaver tail right back here. And this little beaver tail lets me grip a very, very high grip on my handguns. Now, like you can see how high of a grip that is. Well, that's the way I like to shoot. I like to shoot an extremely high. So when I have to pull my gun out, it's extremely high on the bore. It's extremely high. You can see where my fingers are, how high they are, and everything. You can see the grip, how high everything is. That's the way I shoot. With the Glock 19, the Glock 17, some of the other Glocks, my hand, because their beaver tail is so small, my hand would literally be right behind the slide, literally almost right behind it, or like right underneath it. And then every time I would shoot with a Glock, it'll scrape right up against my webbing. It will cut my hand. That's a no-no. I'll explain another video later on when it's a no-no for somebody like me to get hurt. Not because of being a wussy. It's because I have health issues, and I'll explain another video. I'm finally going to come out and talk about everything out there. But that's a big no-no for me. I can't sit there and justify shooting a handgun for self-defense and everything when my hands are being scraped up to hell, being all cut up by the slide of the handgun. So that's why I chose the FNP. Not because I couldn't afford anything else. Is because I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this. I got broken into back in 1988. That's how long I had this gun, since 1988. One of my carry handguns. At that time, I saved money for many, many years. I did a lot of research. At that time, I had three handguns that I used to own. It was a Smith & Wesson SD9 or something like that. It was a very inexpensive handgun. They were like $250 or something like that. Great gun. I put like 2,500 rounds on that thing. Never had an issue. The only issue with that handgun was I couldn't use anything higher than 124 grain or 125 grain. So 124, 125. I can never remember that. But nothing higher than 125 grain. So I couldn't use my 147 Winchester's hollow points. I can only use the 124 grain or the 115 grain. Great handgun, but I carry 147 grain rounds for self-defense and 127 for inside the house. I'm weird when it comes to that, but and I couldn't use it. And then my second handgun was an MMP 9mm when they first hit the market. Worst freaking gun I ever owned. Oh my god, the trigger on that thing was horrendous. It was bad. I mean, straight out of the box, it was horrible. It was horrible handgun. Couldn't stand it. I barely carried it. It was I used to carry the other Smith & Wesson, which was an inexpensive gun, $250. On top of that, they gave me a $50 rebate and 2 magazines with it. So I ended up only paying $200 plus got 2 mags for free for that handgun. I wish I would have kept it, but I ended up trading it in so I can get this one. Because of the ammo issue, I needed one that can handle 147 grain, and this one can handle 147 with no issue whatsoever. But then my third handgun was the one handgun that I saved so much money for. I finally got my hands on a used one for $500. It was a full-size USP 45. Beautiful handgun. I wish I had the $1,000. I wish I had the $1,200 to buy another one, but a 9mm, not 45. 45 is just too freaking expensive. But I would really love to have a compact threaded version of the USP 9mm. Love, because I shot them. I shot full size ones, and oh my god, they were awesome. Well, my house got broken into. I ended up losing my USP 45. I almost cried. I did. I literally, I almost cried because I always wanted a USP 45 for like 12, 15 years because they've been around since the early 90s. And that was one gun that I saved money. I mean, in those days, handguns used to be really cheap. I was 20 years old. I couldn't buy it, you know. But they were cheap. They were like $700-800. Now you can't even get them for that price. I mean, the cheapest I seen them, even used as cheap as I seen them, is like $800, $900. Brand new or between $900 to $1,200, depending on which model you get. Okay, I'm getting a little bit out of, but it got stolen. That was my favorite carry gun. It was a full size 45. I used to carry 6 12-round mags with me. I know. And just like I said, my house got broken into. The fucking insurance doesn't cover everything. So I lost everything. I lost that. I lost a revolver that I had at that time. The girl that was living with me, it was her revolver. We lost that, and we lost the USP, but everything else we got back. But like I said, that was my all-time hair. I mean, I loved it. I used to carry that thing summer, winter. Beautiful handgun, USP 45, full size. After all that, I was, you know, just I was literally, I mean, I was so depressed. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I lost like almost $500. You know, you can never get it at another price like that. So I finally went to the gun store. Like I said, the insurance only covered like repairing the house, you know, because they broke in through a window and they damaged some stuff, and I wasn't able to replace everything. I mean, I lost laptops because I used to do photography, so I ended up losing the laptop with a lot of photos. So I ended up losing business because of that, and a whole bunch of stuff happened. So finally, you know, I was down to 2 handguns. The Smith & Wesson, just like I said, it was a piece of junk. So I took the Smith & Wesson, I took the SD, went to the gun shop, traded them in, got the FNP-9mm because it was the closest one to the H&K USP 45, but in 9mm. It was the closest thing, the exact same grip. I could do a high bore grip. I mean, this thing is solid, rock solid. The only mistake I did, I bought it stainless steel. It's very slippery stainless steel. And like my previous video, I have to use a glove so I can grip it because my left arm is deformed. You can actually see it is slightly deformed and all that stuff. So, but this is an excellent gun. I mean, at 15 yards, I mean, I'm doing like groupings this big. Of course, you know, taking my time, not sitting there going, like you see some of these guys doing their videos. No, just go ahead, pulling out, taking my time, using 100, you know, 127, 124 grain, 125, whatever the heck it's called, and then 147 grain. 147 grain out of this, it's a freaking fireball. It's like, you see big giant fireballs come. No problem cycling those whatsoever. No problem cycling 125, 124, whatever they're called. No problem cycling 115 grain full metal jackets. Have never ever had this thing jammed. I put it, I think it's close to 1,000 rounds on this thing. Not a lot. I don't put a lot because it's my only handgun. I don't want to extremely use it constantly. That's why I got the 22. And I'll make another video of that later. But that's what led to me buying the FNP. It was the closest thing to the USP 45, but a 9mm, a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. It can handle any ammo so far. The accuracy on this thing is phenomenal. The only downfall of the FNP 9mm, there's no accessories out there, not even holsters. Holsters are like the worst things to find for this thing. I'm really mad at this one company because they were making threaded barrels for this, and I was actually contemplating of not buying anything for a few years. I mean, like live dirt poor that I'm already living now, and get a 9mm suppressor just for this handgun. They stopped making the threaded barrels, so I didn't bother suppressing. I didn't bother getting the threaded barrel. But you can get a compensated barrel for this. It's nice. But that doesn't justify it. I wanted one threaded so I can put a 9mm suppressor on it, because you can get 9mm suppressors starting at $500, and that's really cheap. I mean, of course, you got to pay the $200 tax stamp. But this, I'm going to tell you something. FMPs, if you guys are looking for one with a hammer, a good training, good self defense, one that you can get a good high bore access to it, like almost like a 1911. A USP, or even a FNP-9mm, which was, just like I said, the trigger sucked at that time when I bought it. The trigger was horrible in that thing. I got rid of it, but I was able to get an extremely high grip on that. But you also have to remember, this is me because I have big hands, so I need to have a very good grip on the guns that I own. I need to have a good access, good bore access. I think that's what it's called. I might be saying it wrong, but I try to keep it as close as I can to my finger, so when I train, I have that good access. I know that wherever I'm shooting at, I get that really good point of aim, point of impact. I try to get it as close as I can. The FMP 9mm at 15 yards that's pretty freaking impressive for a gun that has almost no accessories, no nothing. Has a little Picatinny rail on here. It's not even a real Picatinny rail. Had this thing since 2008. It has not failed me yet. Now, I'm sorry this video is kind of long. I know I threw a lot of stuff in there, but this is the reason why I bought it. It's an excellent gun. Fits perfectly in my hand. I don't know they don't make these anymore. Now they make the FNX or something like that, and then now they're making a Strike Fire. I tried a Strike Fire at my local gun shop. I didn't really like the trigger at all. The trigger on this was way better, a lot smoother. I mean, probably because I put over close to 1,000 rounds to this. But the Strike Fire version of this, I wasn't too impressed with. But that's me. This is my opinion. Please don't sit there and go, oh, because Toolbox says this. Oh, so it's the law. It's like, no. Remember, it's just my opinion. I'm very, how you say, I prefer to tell people the truth instead of sitting there, ooh, you can get this and you'll get, 0.001 MOA. That's bullshit. It's impossible. But at least I'll be honest with you guys. I'll give you my opinion, but at least it's an honest opinion. So don't worry about that. But just like I said, this is why I got it. That's why I didn't get the. I want to get the Strike Fire version of it. I probably won't do it. But for now, guys, this is the FMP. This is the reason why I have it. That's why I carry it. You get 3 mags with them. That's a great thing about FNH. That pretty much everything that I've seen except the 5.7 handgun they sell. It's the only one that doesn't have 3 mags. I might be wrong on that one, but everything else they have has 3 mags, and that's good because the magazines for these are kind of expensive. They're almost $40 a pop. And think about it, one here, and then you can carry 2 of them. And yes, you can find holsters for the magazines, which I found. Just go to their website, FNH website. They actually do sell holsters, and then they sell magazine carriers. Those are the ones I got. I got those for free because one of the magazines that I got, for some reason, doesn't hold last round. They never sent me the follower, but they did send me a brand new case with the holster and the magazine holders on there, so at least I can carry it that way. But great gun. That's why I carry it. That's why I own one of these. This is why it's my self-defense handgun. Alright guys, sorry for the long video, as I'm almost at the 15-minute mark, but if you have any questions, just ask. Leave comment, dislike. Well, if you dislike and say something nasty, I'll delete you. But if it's a good dislike with, I can do a conversation with, I can go, hey, look, this is why. That's cool. That's fine. But disrespectful, no. I'll just delete you and block you. So, but everybody else, have a great day. God bless. And don't forget,